Welcome to a 1v1 on Minsk Pocket. This game is going to be Casparitus, or Casparitus, depending on where in the world you are, versus GbPirate. Casparitus playing as Soviets in the North Base on Minsk Pocket. GbPirate playing as Oster in the South Base. Minsk Pocket I actually think is a pretty balanced map. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's a pretty good map. It's kind of linear, which can give a bit of an advantage to the Axis. It can promote longer games, but it's also quite large, making it difficult for the Oster to defend in one central area, except for fuel. So I actually quite like it, for 1v1 anyway. For 2v2, not so much. A lot of 1v1 maps don't translate very well to 2v2, and I think Minsk Pocket is one of the biggest victims of that, as well as Crossing in the Woods, Road to Kharkov, for example, are much better 1v1 maps than they are 2v2 maps. So hopefully we're going to see a good game here. We do have a double Grenadier start, followed up by an MG42, double conscripts from Casparitus, and the Pioneers are making their way towards the fuel point here in the center. Grenadiers following up, making their way to the right side. We also have conscripts grabbing the fuel.
Capture complete.
More conscripts following up behind, while combat engineers make their way to the left side victory point. Grenadiers making their way over to the right side munitions. While two squads make their way towards the center victory point, conscripts are within supporting range of each other here in the middle and left, although they're actually spreading apart. Squad making their way towards the center, this squad making their way towards the left side munitions point, while combat engineers follow up behind for the strategic point. Meanwhile, GbPirate has not done any back capping. It looks like he's actually going to send his Grenadier squad back to cap, which means he's going to be at quite a significant combat disadvantage in the first engagement, although his opponent is also spreading out quite a bit, fortunately for him. And the machine gun has taken up a position here in the back to defend the fuel, although it's quite unsupported at the moment, and the conscripts are actually going to skip past the strategic point and take the munitions point. Meanwhile, GbPirate will be harassing his opponent's fuel. We do have tier 1 from Casparitus and a scout car hitting the field after his third conscript squad. Grenadiers spotted as it's rounding the corner and cancel a Panzerfaust. They very nearly fired it, but canceled out of it at the very last second. Meanwhile, conscripts moving behind on the flank. We also have a third squad of Grenadiers hitting the field. Machine gun is not repositioning to assist. He's just going to try and win this with only these two squads. Looks like he will be able to force away the conscripts there. Moving up for the Faust now. There it is. But he will be able to pull back unharmed. There's no way of him following up on that wounded scout car. That's just going to be wasted munitions, unfortunately, although the combat engineers will have to reposition to repair, but they are quite nearby to do so, and he's retreating that Grenadier squad a little late. They have just hit Vet 1. There are combat engineers on the flank trying to get the squad wiped. They do manage to get away, just barely. Combat engineers not doing sufficient damage to wipe that squad. Pioneers also retreating just the last second. First squad of Grenadiers does move up to force away those wounded conscripts. And the machine gun has also been repositioned to assist in the engagement, finally. Suppressing those combat engineers and forcing retreat, so the Oster player will get full control of both fuel points, at least for now, while he repairs his scout car. He did not bring his conscript squad up to support in that engagement. They took a little bit of light damage from the Grenadiers over here as well. Moving them around behind to flank the machine gun, but alone they're not going to be able to do much. There is a sniper on the field, though. Moving up with conscript support. Grenadiers finish capturing the fuel. The machine gun actually opted to retreat rather than reposition. And those Grenadiers will probably be soon to follow as they start getting sniped. screening and spotting conscripts. There's no way those grenadiers are going to be able to win this engagement. Conscripts closing in to minimum range, and the grenadiers will be forced to retreat, Sniper moving up behind. Grenadiers from the right side munitions point don't even finish capturing the territory as he needs them to make their way back towards the center and get control of his fuel once again. Meanwhile, the scout car has been fully repaired and there's a squad of flamethrower engineers inside. Conscripts taking up a position behind this log. And they will be able to decap the fuel, although Grenadiers moving into the capture circle prevent it from being captured completely, and the conscripts there are forced to retreat. The scout car charges into very close range, forcing a retreat from that wounded Grenadier squad, and he does throw a Faust on there to prevent him from chasing and wiping the squad completely, but it is draining a lot of munitions in these Panzer Fausts. Rifle grenade also going out, lots of munitions being spent here by these Grenadiers, bringing GbPirate down to only 16 munitions remaining, which is not something he can really afford to be doing considering his map control situation. He didn't finish capturing the munitions point on the right, so he only has 16 coming in right now. He has no upgrades purchased on his Grenadiers yet. No LMGs. If he hadn't fired any of those Fausts, he would be in pretty much the same position since he still hasn't destroyed the scout car. And he would be able to afford an LMG on his vetted Grenadiers. Sadly, he's been a little bit too trigger happy with his Grenadier abilities, and as a result, he can't really afford any LMGs, and he's got to retreat those Pios, but it's way too late. Way too late to retreat those Pios, and he loses the full squad. Fortunately, he's already teched up, and his 221 is on the field. It looks like he will be able to take out that scout car, as it has a damaged engine. He needs to continue his pursuit, though. Why is he backing off? He needs to follow up on that damaged engine scout car. What is he doing? Oh no, I don't know what he's doing. Seems a little bit ambivalent about what he wants to do with that scout car. Kind of he's changing his mind. He really needs to chase down that wounded scout car with the damaged engine before it gets repaired. It looks like that's what he's chosen to do here. There are conscripts hoorahing in to try and damage his engine, but he kites them. Gets just out of range, just barely in time. We will also note that he has purchased a penal battalion, thrown a flamethrower on there, and we're going to see some Panzer Grenadiers hitting the field. Panzer Grenadiers, this might be one of the worst maps for Panzer Grenadiers that I can think of, though. Very difficult to close the distance with them. That being said, they will have an advantage over conscripts, and he's facing quite a lot of conscripts. They'll probably be at a disadvantage against his penals, though. So he's going to have to very careful about how he uses the Panzer Grenadiers. I honestly think more Grenadiers would be more cost effective. That being said, any kind of infantry is going to be difficult to use cost effectively against two snipers, and that's what it's going to be up against very soon. The scout car, unfortunately, has been repaired because it didn't really take advantage of the it didn't really take advantage of the damaged engine when he had the chance. Conscripts attempting to hoorah in to damage the engine of that scout car again. But again, he does not quite manage to close the distance. That being said, his munitions control is excellent, and he can afford to do that pretty much all day long. Almost another full Grenadier squad gets wiped there. Panzer Grenadiers also going to be forced back. GbPirate desperately struggling for map control at this point.
We are as ready as we can be.
Oh geez, and a demo charge is going down on the, in an extremely forward position on the fuel point. I would be very surprised
We are ready for action.
if GbPirate is anticipating that.
The enemy is taking our territory.
That could be disastrous. His munitions is in such an excellent position, he can definitely afford to throw down some of these aggressive demo charges to try and get some early squad wipes. If he were to take out that LMG, that would be a devastating loss for GbPirate. Plus, he put the LMG on his non-vetted squad, fortunately. That will vet them up faster, but of course, it will benefit from it less. Fortunately, it looks like GbPirate is ending in a on the left side of the capture circle here.
How can I help? The Boches attack!
Ooh, Grenadiers drop one sniper model, trying to get to safety, opts to retreat, just to be careful there. Meanwhile, Grenadiers on the left force a retreat from some conscripts as well. There's a machine gun set up on the demo charge, but I don't think that it's going... Oh no, oh no, oh no! The machine gun, the actual weapon itself is fully destroyed, which wipes the squad regardless of the AoE, and then the LMG Grens also get completely destroyed. Ouch. That is going to put GbPirate at a devastating disadvantage. Looks like a full squad of combat engineers did go down as they were attempting to plant that mine to that scout car and panzer grenadiers. Meanwhile, the enemy scout car is moving up, trying to take out that sniper, but he couldn't quite close the distance. But he has pretty much cut off the retreat path of the enemy scout car, which is heavily wounded, and these panzer grenadiers are going to force a retreat from those penal battalions. So, at the very least, GbPirate has managed to get a little bit of map presence, a little bit of territory back under his control, although the Panzer Grenadiers are not going to capture the fuel and are instead moving up to the victory point, trying to slow down the clock. The scout car will continue circling around, can't afford to get in range of those conscripts, trying to take shots at the enemy sniper, but will be forced away before he can even drop one model. It's taking too much damage, and one AT grenade will be enough to destroy him. AT grenades have been attacked by Casparitus as well. And the Panzer Grenadiers will soon be overwhelmed by conscripts. There's just way too many to take on. He does finish capturing the victory point, but will be forced to retreat. And his opponent has produced a new squad of combat engineers and is taking up now to Tier 3.
Standing by!
GbPirate is taking up a position here behind this fallen tree, trying to retake control of the south fuel point once again.
We may now call in Model E assault guns, Commander.
And he has chosen
Assault group awaits your orders.
mechanized assault kind of as an emergency reaction to his situation and called in a Stug E. Hopefully he'll be able to utilize that to take out some of these infantry. We also see a tripwire flare going down here. This patch they seem to be way more effective than they were in the past. They're kind of hard to see on the mini-map. You really can't see those very well at all. It's this little thing. It's there. Sniper taking shots. We also have two mines here in the center, which could be very dangerous for his infantry to hit when they have taken any model losses. Stuggy is firing though, at range. If he pursues, he will be in danger of hitting mines, but his opponent has no anti-tank at all, really, besides AT grenades. Trying to swarm a Stuggy with AT grenades is extremely dangerous. So Casparitus will back off for now. And he still has not chosen a doctrine. Conscript support would definitely be a mistake against mechanized assault. Shock motor would probably do pretty well, especially on this map. Combined arms might do okay. It does have the bomb strike. You can get a button plus bomb strike off. It's always... Oh no! Oh, that just goes to show right there why trying to get an AT grenade off on a Stuggy is so dangerous. Look at all these model losses. 11 kills already. Oh, but he hits both mines. And he triggers the tripwire flare, actually. I think the mine actually detonated that. Well, there goes the scout car. Stuggy also in a lot of danger, fortunately. The T-34 is not on the field early enough to follow up. There's going to be a pack there to defend, as well as all of his supporting infantry. He should be able to get that back to safety. It's going to depend on whether or not the T-34's first two shots penetrate the frontal armor, and depends on whether or not he decides to go all in. There is going to be a Panzerfaust in his way. I'm not sure if GbPirate will react in time, though. No, he did not. The T-34 manages to skirt by. He's going to chase down that Stuggy. He will go all in. The pack gets 2 shots off the Stuggy. Could not get to safety in time. Stuggy shot bounces. T-34 is rotating its turret. Fires once. Oh, it didn't even need 2 shots. 1 shot was sufficient, and the Stuggy goes down. And the T-34 will get to safety because the screening infantry just weren't. He didn't react in time to get the Panzerfaust off. If he had fausted it, it probably would have died to the pack. So Casparitus definitely did manage to capitalize on his opponent's mistake there, taking out that assault gun, putting GbPirate again in a very precarious position. You may, as a knee-jerk reaction to a situation, call in a Stug E again. That would definitely delay his Tiger, and that's something he's really going to need to take out the coming waves of T-34s. Faust does go off on the T-34 there. The pack is going to try to finish it off. Panzer Grenadiers managed to finish off the scout car. And the pack is getting decrewed by flamethrowers. Will it get the final shot off? There it is. Final shot goes off and destroys the T-34 before the pack gets decrewed. Panzer Grenadiers moving up, trying to finish off that flamethrower squad, but there are conscripts here trying to steal his pack, something he absolutely cannot allow to happen, so he calls in a mechanized assault group just to be safe, although it looks like these Panzer Grenadiers were going to win this engagement even without him doing that, so he called that in a little bit preemptively, maybe not even necessary, although it looks like another conscript squad is moving up to try and steal that pack, so mechanized assault group is going to be critical of preventing that from happening. Oh, and he stole the pack without fully assessing that situation, I think. Hitting retreat immediately upon realizing what he had done. Losing those 3 conscript models for nothing. So Casparitus fails to steal that pack, but he did force the purchase of that mechanized assault group. Just 490 manpower and a 30 fuel setback just to prevent that pack from being stolen, but it does mean that the T-34 got taken down. He will be able to recover his pack. So GbPirate isn't in too terrible of a situation just yet, as long as he can continue to hold the line with that pack until his Tiger arrives. It's 130 fuel away, which is several minutes at his current fuel income, and again his munitions control has just been terrible this game. Casparitus now up to 350 munitions in the bank. GbPirate only has 50 and still has no LMGs, relying now quite heavily on his Panzer Grenadiers to carry him until he can afford some proper LMG upgrades on his Grenadiers. Every time he makes an LMG squad, it gets taken out. Well, he's only made 1 and it died to a demo charge, so really needs to try and get those LMGs on the field to give himself an advantage against his opponent's infantry.
Grid point 778604 is taken.
Mechanized assault group will take the munitions point finally here on the right side.
Enemy contact!
Penal Battalion forced away on the left. Meanwhile, conscripts also moving up to harass.
What do you need?
Put out that cigarette.
And we have a fuel cache going down on the strategic point way in the back here, which will put him at a bit of a manpower disadvantage, but I guess he feels that he can afford it. He's wiped 1 conscript squad. Has been leading his opponent moderately well as far as model losses. His opponent's snipers actually have not been inflicting that much bleed. Even at the 20-minute mark, we only have 4 and 13 kills. So only 17 kills between those 2 snipers throughout the course of the game. Rifle grenade goes out trying to take out that sniper, but doesn't work out for him.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
and these conscripts will take the cutoff. Oh no, but a mechanized assault group is circling around behind with snipers trying to take them out, but he hits a mine and gets his engine destroyed. That mine also takes out 3 out of 4 Panzer Grenadier models, and he's trying to retreat under sniper fire, but he does get taken down. And his half-track has no chance of escape. And gets taken out. Rifle grenade goes off, but he retreats just in time.
The enemy is attempting to steal
Again,
our sector.
spending lots of munitions on those rifle grenades for very little return on investment. All of his munitions going down the drain in this game, whereas Casparitus munitions have been extremely cost-effective, taking out whole vehicles with mines, taking out whole squads with demo charges. GbPirate is really struggling to keep up.
You guys, listen to me if you want to live.
New squad of Panzer Grenadiers getting fielded to replace his losses. GbPirate is now up to 180 fuel, only 50 fuel left until this Tiger can be called in, but at this current rate of manpower drain, he's probably going to hit the fuel before he hits the manpower requirement.
Grenadiers reinforced.
More mines going down on the victory point. Finally, we do have a minesweeper from GbPirate. He probably should have purchased one a while ago. Probably should have purchased one immediately after that initial demo charge, in fact. Ideally, he would have purchased one before that. And there's now an ISU 152 on the field. Another rifle grenade going out. The ISU is about to fire. And there goes the full Grenadier squad. It does have high explosive rounds equipped. And the Tiger's not going to arrive for some time. Nice flank on these snipers, though. Oh, jeez, another squad wipe from that ISU 152, but at the same time, he manages to take out that sniper. This sniper will be forced to retreat. Penal Battalion also being forced to retreat. Oh, no. Not sure if he's going to survive this. ISU shot. No, he does not. Oh, and a mine just took out his Grenadier squad on the right. Oh, no. Panzer Grenadiers are trying to charge these conscripts, but it's not working out. A bombing run is getting called in on his retreat path, and everything has been killed except for one minesweeper squad. I don't think there's going to be any coming back from this situation for GbPirate. That being said, he does have the resources to call in his Tiger. That will be hitting the field soon, but he's going to be trying to win. Driving a Tiger through an enemy minefield with an ISU and a stolen pack. And he will have nothing but a Tiger and some piles of minesweepers. But here it is. It's pretty much up to this Tiger to win him the game. He has taken out one of his opponent's snipers, but that Tiger is basically going to have to chew through an ISU. And 3 Soviet squads. Casparitus also has 580 manpower in the bank, so plenty of resources at his disposal to replace any losses he might sustain. Fortunately, he is clearing the way for his Tiger with that minesweeper. If he were to hit a mine with that Tiger, it would probably end the game right there. although he is already at a huge disadvantage.
The
Casparitus
enemy
is
is
producing
attempting
an
to
extra
steal
field
our
gun
sector.
at this point, trying to prepare himself for that Tiger. Tiger is going to flank around behind the ISU,
Enemy
but if he
forces
attempts
are
to circle
securing
strafe
our
it, he
territory.
may end up hitting this mine.
Tiger tanks are now available to you, Commander. Use them well. Tiger ready. The enemy has driven a wedge in our lines.
He does manage to get superior positioning on the ISU. First shot does connect quite nicely, and he could honestly attack it from the front because it still has high explosive rounds equipped.
Losing the sector.
The ISU is attempting to get to safety. The minesweeper is taking heavy damage and needs to retreat now. Oh no! He loses the minesweeper. Oh, the Tiger just set off a tripwire flare with AoE damage. The ISU has no chance of getting to safety here. The field gun and pack did not make it to the field in time. Both of them will take shots on the Tiger, but it looks like it's going to get to safety. Meanwhile, the conscripts have already thrown their AT grenade and it did not penetrate. And the Tiger will be able to get its frontal armor to face those conscripts. It should be able to get to safety. It's already vet one. Another AT grenade goes off, and it does not penetrate.
A new grenadier squad is
Tiger
ready.
has successfully taken out the ISU 152 and is pulling back to safety. Meanwhile, 2 fresh grenadier squads have been called in, and GbPirate does have the munitions to throw on LMGs to both of them, which he probably should do as soon as he can. That being said, he couldn't really afford to lose that minesweeper. He really needs to get a new minesweeper out.
The enemy
as
is
soon as he
taking
can.
our territory.
A bomb run just got called in on that Tiger, but that was probably a mistake. Those grenadiers are walking right into the area of effect, though. They do somewhat manage to get clear. They take a bit of AoE damage, but no model losses, fortunately. LMG upgrade goes up on one grenadier squad. The other one, he didn't have the munitions for the second one because he, I don't know, he just didn't have the munitions for it. He needs to blitz to safety now. There's a field gun and a pack moving up to fire on him. An AT grenade goes off on his rear armor, though. I don't think he's going to be able to get to safety. He did just wipe one conscript squad, though. It's going to come down to him getting miraculously lucky shots, though, which does not happen. GG's being exchanged. Tiger does go down to that field gun, and GbPirate will surrender, and that's going to conclude the game, which just goes to show the devastating effect that Soviet demo charges and mines can have. Good use of those. Just goes to show the importance of munitions control against Auster as well, but also intelligent munitions usage. Certainly GbPirate had plenty of opportunities to upgrade LMGs and give himself an edge over his opponent's infantry, but instead opted to use lots of Fausts and rifle grenades, and I think that really came back to haunt him. An earlier purchase of the minesweeper could have made a critical difference as well. Better usage of his scout car could also have helped him a lot to take on his opponent's scout car and also to take out his opponent's snipers. But all in all, I'd say it was a pretty solid game. Well played by everybody. I hope you enjoyed. And if not, or if so, feel free to send me replays of your own. And I'm happy to do a cast for you. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks for watching.